morning. Welcome to downtown Oxford. Let's take a walk. We're going to stop at Johnston Photography this morning and talk to Dorothy and learn all the ins and outs of the photo studio world and all those great shots that you get your seniors kids to do. So come on in, let's go take a walk. Good morning. We're upstairs in your studio, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay, let's introduce you for everyone here listening.
Okay, I'm Dorothy Johnston, owner of Johnston Photography here in downtown Oxford. We've been here 10 years. This is our 10th year anniversary. Super excited to be here, part of this community.
That's wonderful. This is a very large space. We're just in a tiny corner here. How many little shots or vignettes do you have?
On this floor, there's probably 13 plus different sets. We try to have something for everybody depending on the outfits they come in colors, that sort of thing, styles.
Now, are students the most popular sets that you do or shots?
We do a lot of high school seniors, yes. We do a lot of families as well, and a ton of little babies, which is super fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about how you got into the whole photography and just how you developed this building, because it's gorgeous. You've got a lot in here.
Yeah. Actually, I went to school for photography. I went to Center for Creative Studies, 4 years of photography. We actually purchased the building and the business from Mel Paul, who was here 15 years prior to us taking over 10 years ago. So it was a studio established when we bought, which was awesome.
Yeah. Well, you have done a lot of personal touches to it. I can see that everywhere that I turn.
Yeah, absolutely. We've changed a lot of the sets, color schemes, added, taken away, done. Obviously, we want to kind of transition with the times and update and keep things fresh, for sure.
Well, speaking of that, what has changed in photography? I mean, obviously everything's digital now, but what does that mean to the customer?
It means more creativity, I think. Yeah, it's just wide open what you can do with digital photography. Absolutely, it's just whatever your imagination can create and pull off.
Okay, now I understand that you'll travel outside of the studio for shoots, and then you do some other things on YouTube as well, or how does that work?
My husband actually does some cool video stuff with some of the still stuff we put together, and our cameras are capable of doing video. So yeah, we've been kind of doing some multimedia things for sports teams, also for individuals that come in or families that are photographed here. Absolutely.
Okay, so what kind of off-site photography do you do?
A lot of family stuff. We've done engagement things off-site. We do destination weddings. We did a wedding up in Mackinac Island at the Grand Hotel, which is a fabulous.
So you're willing to travel quite
Oh yeah.
some distance.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So this can't possibly be all just you and your husband. Do you have more people that help you out?
I have a couple part-time gals, great gals. They've been here since I started. But yeah, other than that, it's just myself as a photographer. My husband does a lot of location stuff with me.
Okay, so maybe we could go to another set and you could show us a little bit about how you actually put together a set and do a shot.
Sure, we can do that for sure.
All right, so tell me about this studio set here.
Okay, this is what we would set up for a yearbook background. We can do a variety of different colors based on the specifications for the school. Say Oxford requires us to have a blue on the background, or Lake Orion doesn't.
Well, it's been a long time since I've been a student and had yearbook photos, but can we just kind of run through it and you could pretend you're taking some shots?
Absolutely. So I'll have you just take a seat there. As you're seated, just let your knees kind of aim toward the light, kind of spin slightly. I'm going to set this in for your elbow. Very nice. And make sure everything's sort of centered on you. It looks good. Let me bring this in. Drop it a little bit for your height. And then I'm going to have you nice and tall with your frame. You got it. And then probably what I'll do is pull your arm back just a hint. Yep, perfect. And probably we'll start with a smile. Yeah. Typically what I like to do then is just take a real quick light meter reading on you. So all these lights are going to flash at you. Perfect. All right.
And do you typically hold the camera like that?
I do. I hand hold. It allows me to be a little freer.
Okay.
If I want to get up high for some artistic angles, I can do that. Some tripods don't go that high for me. So typically what I would do is a variety of different expressions with my clients, maybe a variation of how they're spun and change up their posing a bit as well. So they've got some selections, some different poses to select from.
Okay. How big is an average high school senior portrait package? And
Our packages start at $129 and they go from there. It just depends on the client's needs, how many photographs. Some people want to give them as gifts for the holidays, that sort of thing.
Any sizes, or you limit them?
Nope. Anything goes. It's really whatever their need is.
Okay.
For sure. We try to have something for everybody. Maybe a little more serious. There you go.
Well, that was really great. We learned a lot about what they do here at the Johnston Photography Studio, so if you have any interest, be sure to check them out. Next, we're going to take a walk over to Williams Art Glass Studio, Sunset Antiques, and check out some of their new things that they've got there in the store. Maybe we'll even get a chance to see some of their customer restoration work.
This is a message for all you teenagers out there who are thinking of becoming babysitters. Go online and take the Babysitting Basics course offered by the Red Cross.
Do you know where Mommy and Daddy keep the bandages?
You learn how to handle situations like this. It should have never come to this. More importantly, how to avoid them.
Do you know where Mommy and Daddy keep the fire extinguisher?
This is cat food. Please, I'm begging you, take the course. She had to go to the store. I guess I'll be okay. You'll learn how to take care of kids, even infants. This is not how Mom does it. Cat food. I'm begging you. Please. Go online and take this course. The Red Cross offers classes that teach the basics of babysitting. In just a few hours, you'll learn how to handle an emergency, the basics of childcare, and how to talk to the parents if something should go wrong. Take the course. Go to redcross.org/babysitting and register today.
25,000 mornings, give or take, is all we humans get. We spend them on treadmills, we spend them in traffic, and if we get lucky, really lucky, it dawns on us to go spend them in a world where a simple sunrise can still be magic. 25,000 mornings. Make sure some of them are pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
Okay. Well, here we are, Williams Art Glass Studio and Sunset Antiques, and I can already tell I'm so anxious to check out some of the stuff that they have here. Let's go on inside and meet the owner and see what we can learn about this great place. All right, we're up front here in our antique section, and I'm with Karen.
Hello.
And Rick.
Hi.
The owners here, and I'm going to ask Rick here a little bit about some of the new things they've done with the front of this studio here, because you've changed a lot since the last time I was here.
Yes, we have. Formerly, we featured pretty much only architectural items, windows, doors, fireplace mantels, columns, but with the decline in building, we've decided to change the business to appeal to a broader customer base. So now we have many different exhibits, military exhibits, beaded purses, nautical telescopes, art glass, china, many different things, Western items, spurs, fire equipment, all kinds of different items to appeal to a broad base of customers, as there's been a very large decline in antique stores because of the economy. So now we've totally changed it around. We've added showcases. We have a great line of antique lighting. We've got our usual stained glass windows, most of which are old, but a lot of them we do here. We don't have a lot of examples because it's all custom work. But we have portfolios with over 5,000 pictures of our custom work that are up front. So people want to take a look at those books for ideas. It's a great start. Or they can look at the old windows, most of which are salvage windows that came from Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, Toledo, and pickers. I get pickers who come with trucks and they've got stuff in them. Some I buy, some I tell them to send to the scrapyard. But we do get a wide variety of requests. And up front now we have a book on a podium where if you come in and visit the store, you can put your name and a contact number and what you're looking for, And if I come across something like that, I'll call. So that's been very helpful, and everybody, I've done 3 or 4 different finds, as it were, for people who are looking for specific items. In the back of our shop now, we have a project area where we have heating grates, granite pieces, lanterns, all kinds of different project pieces that people can incorporate into architectural decor or actual practical usage if they're restoring an older house. We've got a huge selection of antique hardware back there. We've even got a one-horse open sleigh. That was a cording cutter that was made in Mason, Michigan. A cording cutter was made for 2 people to cuddle up as they went through the snow. So there's many, many different items here. There's something pretty much for everybody, although I do get some odd requests, but for the most part, the store has become much more interesting as a destination. And we've been here 30 plus years. We just won the Beautification Award for the Downtown Business District.
That's for all the work on the front of the building, correct?
I believe that is. I don't think they came in here to look at anything, but we put new lettering up in the front. We repainted the windows. Of course, we always have great flowers out there. My wife Karen is the one responsible for that, and she's our artist and designer here for custom stained glass work. We work with the people on a one-to-one basis for what they want. We also do modifications here. So if you find an old window that you like and it doesn't quite fit, we can usually cut it down or enlarge it to fit the opening that you require. We run the gamut from bevel glass, stained glass, etched glass, carved glass, a couple of examples behind me. We pretty much do everything. We do an extensive amount of restoration. There's a lot of uses and recycling possibilities for the old glass, and we're certainly out there on the hunt for it all the time.
Well, this place is amazing. It's really the kind of place that, regardless of the idea or piece that you might be looking for, it sounds like you could either already have it or at the very least be able to find it for them.
Oh yes, and we get people from all over who come out here. We've started some advertising, and word of mouth has spread out. We changed the store, and it's a good thing because the people who come into our shop inevitably will walk around Oxford. They'll be able to see the village. A lot of times they'll ask for a recommendation for a place to eat. So in a large part, our store helps the downtown area in general.
Absolutely.
As well as us.
You're a part of Oxford, and we're happy that you're here. So thank you so much for letting me see the store.
Thank you.
And maybe we could go into the back and check out a project or two?
Sure, I'd be happy to.
All right, we're in the back here with Ryan. How are you?
Pretty good.
And you do a lot of things here. I see that you are working on a project. And what would you call this project?
This person came in for a repair, and when things break, I fix them.
Okay, so what kind of repairs do we have here? I see some broken glass. Any other things that you need to do?
Well, I'm going to have to reinforce this panel so it doesn't happen again after about 100 years. You still have to be cautious with it, so after I reinforce it, it should be good to go for another 100 years.
Okay. So could we maybe get you to do a little bit here, and we'll just get you, we'll film you doing something?
Sure, no problem.
Okay.
Right now I'm just cutting the glass for the pieces that are missing for the window itself, and I pop them in there, and then there's other steps I have to do after this to reinforce it, but all I have to do is just cut the glass for it.
Now, is this traditional lead work in here then too?
Of course, yes, and obviously we do the same traditional methods that they did 120 years ago besides electricity, but yeah, everything is all traditional when I do the repairs and when I do custom work also.
Okay. Now, is this some of the old glass that we were being told about, that you have to buy old glass to fill in here?
Most of it, this is, yes. Most of it is antique glass, but on the other hand, sometimes people do the repairs 20 years ago and they put new glass in there, and that's so they have to do what they have to do because they don't can't go back in a time machine basically to get the old glass. So.
Okay. Can you tell us about what other kind of projects you do back here? I see a lot of things sitting around. I don't know how much you have going on at once.
We do have a lot of projects that we do tackle. A lot of repairs, just like this one here. A lot of custom work. That process takes, a couple, 3 weeks just to get some type of work on the table there. And we do beveling here also. I do get a lot of studios around the United States that come to me for the beveling, because that is one of the traditional methods that a lot of people don't do. So, and then the other ones are just, basically, cleaning the windows, and I go out into the home and install them for the customers. So, yeah, there's a lot of different type of projects that we do around here. We do also do a lot of refinishing of antique wood from 100-year-old furnitures.
Now, I see a big project that was being worked on back here. Is that a custom project?
Custom project, yes. The customer came in with an idea. We reamped it for them in stained glass form. And when they approved the design, they picked out their glass and their bevels, so it is, the same motif for their home. So yes, that project over there is almost completed, and probably going to install it next week for them. Go on to the next project. So.
All right. Well, thank you so much for letting us kind of poke around back here and seeing some of the stuff that you do.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you. What a lot of beautiful antiques in there. Something you might want to take a look at the next time you're in town. And all that custom and restoration work, this could be the kind of place that you need to check out. Well, I'm hungry. It's lunchtime and we are headed to Vendetti's next. I think we're going to check out one of those famous Spankies that we always hear about. And maybe he'll even show us how to make one.
Let's take a walk. Down paths of green star stone, over dunes of Kalkaska sand, across bridges, up boulevards, along grand verandas, through the priceless and the timeless. Let's walk out of the world as we know it and into the world we don't. A new trailhead awaits. Where it leads is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
Every day, we are adding more than 200,000 people to our planet, leading to huge problems that are just going to get worse. Let's not leave our future behind. Population Media Center, acting around the world for a healthy and bright future.
It's lunchtime. Are you ready? We are heading inside to Vendetti's and we're going to learn how to make a Spanky, and boy, I hope we get to eat it too because I am so hungry. Let's go. It's lunchtime. Welcome to Vendetti's. Hi, Dino.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. How is it going today? You're pretty busy.
Going okay.
Yeah?
Doing okay, yeah.
You want to tell us a little bit about your business here? How long have you been in this building?
In Oxford here, we've been here just short of 2 years.
Okay.
October will be 2 years.
How about before that?
Before that, we were in Shelby Township for 45 years.
Wow, you've been doing this a long time.
Yeah, it's like a family business, and yeah, we've been doing a lot of Italian food for a while, so.
Okay, so how do you like Oxford?
I love Oxford. Oxford's excellent. It's just so nice and quaint and cozy, you know, and yeah, it's not too big, not too small, you know, so.
Okay, and you're, like I said, seem to be doing really well here. What are some of your specialties? What do people come in for the most?
Well, you know, when we come up here, we've seemed like we sell a lot of pizzas, but we're known basically in Shelby for more of our, our pasta and our sandwiches. The Spanky sandwiches is sort of an institution in Shelby Township. People have actually grown up on that sandwich, and they moved out of state, and they'll have them shipped out of state and stuff like that. And so, but our muscacholis and pastas, everything's that's what we're known for back in Shelby. The pizza obviously too, but that was our thing was that Spanky sandwich with everybody. Like I said, everybody's got their own little story with the Spanky sandwich if you grew up in Shelby or Utica area.
Well, so tell me, what is the story behind it? Where did this Spanky sandwich come from? How did it come about?
Well, my dad's family is from West Virginia, and it was like the hills and the coal mines in West Virginia. They used to, they're known for a pepperoni bun or a pepperoni roll, and even if you were to look that up on the internet, I think that's sort of like the hub of the pepperoni roll, and I think Al Roker even did a show on it one time. But it sort of spun out from there. My dad moved to Michigan years ago, and sort of brought that with him. And the name, we really don't know how we named it the Spanky, but the pepperoni roll itself, though, they take them in the coal mines back in, way back in the day, and that's what their lunch was, and but we've always made it with put our homemade, spaghetti sauce or meat sauce in it, and then a whole bunch of cheese, and run through the oven, and it gets toasty and good,
So tell us, ingredients are a big thing. People always want to know what they're eating. What kind of ingredients do you have? Fresh ingredients, etc.
Well, pretty much we use the top of the line everything. It's a thing where if you're not gonna want to make it for yourself, something good, you're not gonna want to serve customers that. I think you'll end up having a short business if you do that. So, but everything we do is top ingredients, and so it's especially what's important with that sandwich in itself is the cheese. You got to have a whole melt cheese. You can't have a cheap cheese that won't melt, because then the sandwich just won't. The cheese won't melt. The bun will burn, and then you got cheese that isn't melted. So
you make the bread here?
Yes, absolutely. I've been baking since I was a kid. So in fact I've got batches of bread right now trying to bake, but sometimes business gets in the way. So I usually get a good start 4 or 5 in the morning, but today got a little late start. So
really sounds like you grew up in this business.
Yeah. I was baking. I used to even in high school. I used to go bake at 3 in the morning twice a week, and then go to school after. So, All
right. Well, let's get back to this Spanky sandwich. You think maybe we can go into the back? You can show me how one's made.
Oh, absolutely. And the other sandwich is everything is homemade with the meatballs too. A meatball pepper sandwich, and we're making meatballs later today too. So, but the Spanky's what we're known for, so that's probably the one that you want to see. So.
Okay, let's do it. Let's go into the back and check out how this is done.
The Spanky starts off as a pepperoni bun. When we bake the rolls, we roll the pepperoni right into the bun.
Okay.
So it's just that by itself.
Yeah.
People love the rolls just by themselves, and I do sell a lot of just plain pepperoni buns,
You said that's what the miners, that was their entire lunch.
Yeah, exactly, and whatever they had baked, the night before, almost like a pasty up in, up north, they would just, usually it'd be capicola or pepperoni or whatever, and they'd take it down in their lunch, but even, for 40 some years in Shelby, my dad would never ever sell these because we couldn't make enough for ourselves, so he'd give them away actually, just so, he didn't have to, go through that. But anyway, this is how it starts off. We'll put a little bit of cheese on the bottom, just so the sauce doesn't leak through the bun. It's sort of like a patch. And then, and then we come over here to our spaghetti sauce. And this is the gold. This is what what gives it all the flavor is our sauce. And people will get extra sauce, or they'll have other stuff put in the roll sometimes, onions or this or that. But if you order a and the sauce is made in that big kettle, 40-gallon kettle back there. So, but if you order a Spanky just original, you're going to get the pepperoni, the sauce, and the cheese.
Okay.
A lot of people will get fresh mushrooms. And we'll put the fresh mushrooms. We'll warm them up, and we'll put it right over the top when we serve it. So then it gets like roughly 4.5 ounces of cheese. And I've been doing it, you know, since I've been, you know, a kid, so I basically know exactly how much. And we try to keep it real loose so it'll melt really nice. And actually, the cheese is the key. If the cheese is actually too fresh, it isn't suitable for the sandwich because it's
Too much moisture?
When it's too fresh cheese, they call it green cheese. It's too, the enzymes haven't broken down, so it won't be creamy. It'll be like salty.
Okay.
So sometimes I have to age the cheese, and I have to order enough, and I always have to watch how much you order and everything to get it just right.
Okay.
So if we have a big event, sometimes it's like, oh man.
Yeah.
So, but that's basically it, and then we're putting it into an oven, and we're cooking it roughly, you know, like 5 to 7 minutes, and it comes out like you've seen those other ones. So, and like I says, people have been eating them for quite a while. It's sort of like, I always say it's sort of like a little cult following, you know what I mean? It's sort of like that movie Christmas Story that, you know, everybody watches that movie. And the Spanky's similar to that, where it's got its own like little following, you know, so it's sort of unique, but a lot of work.
Well, thank you. This is wonderful. Really appreciate you bringing us back into the kitchen and getting a first-hand look at what you do back
Well,
here.
I really appreciate you coming in.
All right.
We haven't really, in Oxford, we haven't did a lot of advertising, and people, they still come in and they live down the street and they say, geez, we never knew you were here. And, you know, it's like, we do good food, we just don't know, we don't market ourselves too good, but anyway, this will probably help a little bit. So,
Yeah, well, you know, like I said, make sure you let us know, and
Absolutely.
we'll be happy to come down anytime you're doing something special.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you.
Good.
Can't wait to eat.
Excellent. Well,
Well, that was delicious. What a great day we've had. We've seen a lot of wonderful places here in Oxford. And make sure you check in with us every week, because maybe next time we'll be taking a walk in your neighborhood.